Capricorn May 2025. I heard the word renovation. So some of you might have just gotten renovations or are doing renovations on your house. I heard the word renovation. You might be renovating yourself. So there could be some type of new beginning that began after March 30th for you, as with many people. But for Capricorn in particular, I feel a lighter energy than Virgo. I just did the Virgo reading, and now as I'm going into your energy, I feel a lighter energy. Even though there are some challenges here in terms of your family dynamic or your home dynamic for some of you. Let me go into this fully. I also heard the word carnival or carnival. So I don't know if some of you are going on vacation and going to carnival or a carnival in this month, but there's a lot of joy surrounding it, a lot of happiness, a lot of fun, lots of colors, take lots of pictures. There's a lot of texting for a couple of you. There's a lot of texting, a lot of going back and forth. I feel like there's a new love relationship that some of you are embarking with, getting to know somebody. Really cool. I feel like there's some type of strong connection there, but you're seeing how it plays out. That's only for a few of you. So at the core of your reading, Capricorn, is a conforming to institution. The Hierophant, you can see, is a priest of the highest order. This is someone who is very, very deep and very rigid in his beliefs. On top of that was the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups, to me, is a very happy card, signifying almost miracles. I did some meditating and going into some of the aspects here. So the first thing that I saw that popped out at me was that you had the Six of Wands in your underlying you position. So underlying your whole reading was the Six of Wands. Now, wands are always about change. Wands are always about movement, moving forward. Despite, even if you were to stay stagnant, things are still moving in a certain direction. So the Six of Wands underlying your position represents a healthy sense of self-esteem, despite what you've been going through. So it's saying there have been some particular challenges as of late in this month. For some of you, it's going to be about a relationship, because at the top of your reading, you have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups represents someone with a lot of compassion, a lot of caring, a lot of nurturing, and emotional stability, and someone that could be a voice of reason. This is also showing me that you have strength reversed in your you position. So strength reversed tells me that despite the underlying Six of Wands card, you might feel conflicting emotions. You might have imposter syndrome. So imposter syndrome is making you feel like you don't fully deserve the accolades or the recognition from others. Because Six of Wands is showing me that you're going to get some sort of recognition or accolades from someone from your church or someone from your school or institution, some type of accolades for all the work that you've put in. Some of you might have a full victory and success in your endeavors, but that is next to strength reversed. So because it's next to strength reversed, I'm seeing imposter syndrome. So you have to focus on the good things. Focus on the good that comes your way in this situation. There's a lot of being patted on the back. There's certain people that are giving you a lot of support. And it's important that you remember that throughout this month, because I feel like in the middle of the spread, you have the Four of Cups, the Ace of Cups, you have the Ten of Wands in your family position, the King of Pentacles in your hopes and fears, and then the Hanged Man in your near future position. So the Ace of Cups reversed in your near future position, next to your family position, I feel like your family is overburdening you somehow, or maybe you're taking on too much responsibility within the family in trying to please them and trying to make them happy. There's someone that's especially coming up as the Queen of Cups at the top of the spread. This is for just a few of you. There could have been a series of fights or pent-up resentment towards each other, and you feel like the only way to fix it is to go with the status quo. For a couple of you, there could have been a breakup and you're still trying to fix it. So as I said before, the Queen of Cups represents compassion, caring, emotional stability, and the voice of reason. Now, because of the dynamics I'm seeing here, I also got the word ultimatum. So I feel like for a couple of you, there is some sort of ultimatum being given by somebody, and that's why you might be taking on a lot of burdens or a lot of responsibility. For others of you that don't have those situations, okay, you might be reaping the rewards of your success, which is shown by the Six of Wands. And you might fear that the material success that you're about to achieve in the coming months, you might fear certain things having to do with the abundance that you already see in the near future. So for those of you that are having fears about the good things, don't do that. Try not to do that, because there's no reason to fear good things that are coming your way. To me, that's a trauma response. To me, that's something that you have to really go into and recognize that whatever happened in the past that you feel you might not deserve the upcoming rewards or the things coming your way, you have to recognize that whatever happened in the past, you did the best you could at that point in time. You did what you did because it's what you knew, right? So I feel like now it's time to focus on your inner momentum, your inner beliefs, because the Hierophant showing up in your spread for me, in the middle of the spread, is telling me that some of you are teachers, counselors, might work in the judicial system of some kind. There are some of you that might play a role where you're teaching something. You might be teaching on the platform like this. You might be an influencer of some kind. So that would represent someone who is talking about a lot of the esoteric or religious or spiritual type of things. And this is someone that is adhering to a lot of very deep belief systems. So you might hold some very deep beliefs. This is like so this is like basics of someone believing something or knowing something. The skeleton of, like, if I were to make a portrait, right? I would have to know the basics of a skeleton. I would have to know the fundamentals of anatomy in order to create a portrait. That's what this is. This is the foundation of someone's belief systems. So it could also represent very rigid beliefs of some kind, where you're not swaying one way or another at all. And that's okay. You know, everybody has their preference and way of life, and it's completely up to you, you know? But in not swaying, I feel like the not bending or not swaying is creating a lot of conflict. It's creating something that doesn't have to be there, especially within the family dynamic, especially with a partner or a marriage situation. Many of you are cultivating the fruits of your labor. So whether some of you are gardening, I see some of you gardening out there. Some of you are actually cultivating in other ways through counseling. Some of you are counseling people, helping people who are going through some really tough times. Maybe you're doing it on a public platform, or some of you are doing it just in your friend group. You know, maybe you're the one that people go to for advice, and you're helping people in that way, and you're getting accolades in that way. This could also have to do with a chef, like someone who's a chef and is going by the book, by the recipe. But what happens is, with cooking being such an art form, you know, you want to kind of steer away from the book. You want to kind of add your own little nuances to the recipe, or add little things that are unexpected, so that people are like shocked when they try your recipe. They're like, what is that? What's that one thing that you're using? And they want to know, right? So I feel like that's what's happening. I feel like at the core of your reading, there's the by the book principles that you're following, but there's a need for change, and you're feeling it. You're feeling that need for change, yet there's a sense of jadedness within this situation. There's a sense of feeling jaded. You can see this person in the Four of Cups is resting under a tree, and there's blessings being given to him or her, right? In this card, there's an offer of cups being given from the heavens. This is divine. This is a divine blessing being given. And yet, you can see the person is just dreamily looking forward, like as if he can't even or she can't even see it. I feel like that's what might be happening here too, is that you have an opportunity to bend a little, to make the best of the situation, and it's really up to you. It all comes down to being up to you, whether you want to move forward with it or not. Within a job, career, or partnership situation, I feel like this could have to do with a decision that needs to be made between two people. One wants to go follow the book. One wants to go by the rules. The other one wants to sway a little bit. The other one wants to go towards something that is more ethical. Something that is more ethical according to philosophy. Whereas the one that's going by the book is going more ethical according to either religious laws or judicial laws. Okay, so there's definitely two opposing pathways here, and it's up to you whether you want to sway or not. It all comes down to your belief systems and whether you want to change, because we're going back to that card where it talked about change. The Hangman reverse, which is in your near future position, talks about the resistance of change, and it's up to you whether you want to remain there or move forward and change. It could be a big change, it could be a small change. I don't know your personal situations, but it does say that you do have the divine helping you out. You do have divine wisdom. You do have grace at your heels. And the choices you make within the month of May are going to steer the ship for June. That's what I'm hearing. The choices you make for May are going to steer your ship for June. Capricorn, I'm also having a vision of a little child asking mommy or daddy something very innocent, something very childlike, innocent, and yet it has everything to do with this reading. It has everything to do with the choices you make. And I'm not sure why that's coming up, but that might just be for like one or two of you. And I'm being told to say, what would make that child most happy? What decision within this spread would make that child most happy? Maybe that's the decision you should lean into, because oftentimes the deepest wisdom comes out of the mouth of babes, right? So that's your reading for the month of May, 2025. Thank you, Capricorn. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Share this with your friends. And I look forward to seeing you in June. Bye for now.